Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you all doing well and enjoying your day so far, and welcome to September the 5th, a massive day over the course of the off-season, but certainly a lot to be talked about today with regard to Vanguard, at least coming out all across the board, with Scump not necessarily happy about what is being said about Dead Silent right now. Very much intrigued your thoughts in the comment section below. Like if you guys enjoyed the video, subscribe if you're new as always, I would greatly appreciate it. Already to the channel, thank you very much indeed for doing that. First of all then, this from Crone. 5th of September, a massively important date, because that means that's of course today, that teams can start to sign their players officially for the upcoming season. So of course, well, we've had plenty of time these last couple of weeks of rumours coming out, and who knows really what happens with some of the rumours. It's very possible that a Chicago or Paris, maybe they just decide to come into the Rostermania period, or like someone actually buys out one of those spots, and all of a sudden they're a player in the scene. They could steal someone away that has kind of, well, been prepared to be signed to some other organisation, kind of like we saw before the Modern Warfare season when Huntsman came in and then kind of stole away Envoy and Arcitys from what was meant to be the Seattle Surge roster going into that year. So things could still change from the rumours we looked at yesterday, but yes, as of today, I imagine a lot of the teams are trying to lock in these players that they've been kind of waiting on with verbal agreements, and we talked about the rumours the last several days. Now they can officially actually sign the players, and you'd imagine that's what they're going to do. Therefore, announcements will likely follow over the coming days. Once they get everything locked in, they'll probably work on the announcement videos or the graphics or whatever, and then things will start to stream in, and then we can properly look at, okay, what's this team actually going to look like? What are the pros? What are the cons? How do they stack up against other rosters when things do start to get officially confirmed over the coming weeks, I would imagine. So very important day for Rostermania today, as CleanX are here playing Warzone with Insight, so it seems like after all, Toronto Ultra may well indeed be sticking together. This is also interesting that Chrome pointed out, so it wasn't long ago that Willett, who's been an amateur player for a couple of years in the challenger scene, of course, has well, he joined the Mutineers as like their assistant coach, and then not too long after that, he's now actually been promoted, it seems, to the head coach of the Mutineers. Interesting what they're doing over there, because Ricky Atura, I think he's pretty well respected. They decided to remove him from the team and maybe bring Willett up to the head coach position. It seems right here. Sky's, Awakening, Havoc, and Yeez is meant to be the roster for next year, at least as the current rumours, which is kind of strange. I'm surprised they wouldn't have tried to make a bigger move, frankly, after after Neptune is seemingly going to the New York Southerners, as we will talk about later today. But again, still interesting stuff nonetheless to keep up with what's going on. Kevy Skills is talking about Nature right here, because he was on stream last night, and well, when Nature is on stream, there's always the potential of something potentially getting leaked. And don't worry, in the FaZe OpTic, new merchandise right here. Also this, right, I'm pretty sure this is just like taken out of context or whatever, but Nature's talking about Octane, and people are insinuating, could that possibly be towards Los Angeles Thieves confirming Octane sooner rather than later? That's probably the one that, if there's any of these moves, which I'll be incredibly surprised if it doesn't happen, it would be Octane to Los Angeles Thieves, let's be honest at this point. It makes a fair bit of sense, but I do just wonder how quickly these organizations are going to be to confirm these types of things, because Octane, Kenny, Drazah, and Envoy, it's a pretty nasty team. There is so much competition going into next year already. It's pretty scary to think about. But let's talk about Call of Duty Vanguard then. So Tom Henderson, pretty prolific leaker of Vanguard and Warzone and other things as well before just this season. Call of Duty pros recently got their hand on the Vanguard beta. This usually happens. The pros get their opportunity to play the game a little bit earlier than us regular plebeians, I suppose. And well, yeah, they got to play it, I don't know exactly when, like I guess relatively recently, the last few days, or something along those lines, and are said to have enjoyed their time playing. This is a massive difference from the past couple of titles, where pros straight up said they didn't enjoy the game. It's a great sign for competitive Call of Duty, which of course is good to see on the surface. At the same time, is this necessarily a massive difference from the past couple of titles? I swear, like, we always tend to see tweets on the timeline, and to be fair, we haven't seen too many tweets on the timeline as a result of them playing the beta. Quite often, like, the pros who have got flown out to the studios, they'll come back and talk about how good and how in tune the studio is with everything they want, how the game is great, it's really fun to play, and then it turns out a couple of months into the title, they don't necessarily like it. And so, to be fair, maybe this is a massive difference from the past couple of years, because Modern Warfare especially was an absolute shambles. You guys might well remember when Slasher was said to have, flown out there, and some of the other pro players, they loaded into like, was it Grasner raid hardpoint, and had 28 hardpoints on the map, and they were like, what is going on here? Like, let's not do this. Like, clearly people didn't really understand or even ever watch competitive Call of Duty in their lives putting on that type of event. So it seems like it's more positive this time than it has been in previous years, which at the very least is a pretty good sign, but still not taking too much away from this, right? Because it's always, the honeymoon period as it goes, right to the start of the game. The pros seem to like it initially when they play it. Of course, it's a welcome change, really, playing a new game compared to playing Card War or whatever they've played in previous seasons for many months. And all of a sudden, hopefully they're finding this one is in a pretty good spot. But of course, there are certainly some concerns. This is Slasher says, right, way back in 2019, a lot I wanted for Christmas was Silent Footsteps in Modern Warfare, maybe next year, right? Because of course, when they initially played this game, there were certainly some significant question marks about the way it would play for competitive play. And at the end of the day, Dead Silence was one of the big concerns that year. It seems like once again, Dead Silence is returning as a field upgrade in Vanguard. So one of these things, it kind of charges up over time, then you get to use it, and that's how Dead Silence is going to be, as opposed to being a perk where you can't just run around silently, as in probably the majority of great Call of Duty games that we've had, that has been the case. In Modern Warfare, it was very frustrating that you couldn't really make any plays until your Dead Silence popped, and Scump has some thoughts on it we'll look at right here, where he's like, look, I mean, obviously it's tongue-in-cheek what he's saying, but I'm certainly implying he's not particularly happy with this news that Dead Silence is not returning as a perk.
His position, bro.
Dead Silence is confirmed a field upgrade. Well, it looks like I'm busting down doors. Actually, wait a second. I haven't signed my new CDL contract. Looks like I'm taking the year off. Hey, we'll be seeing you next year.
Hey, something's wrong with me, bro.
Now, what must be said, as the Ghost of Hope points out right here in addition, Dead Silence doesn't need to be a perk if the game already has low footstep audio. This has been one of the big discussions as of late. I'm pretty sure iMarksman said it initially from when he was playing the alpha before the alpha even came out to the public, and other pros have said it as well, I'm pretty sure. Definitely other people have said it. The footstep audio is way lower in this game than it has been in previous titles, and that is honestly great news, right? Because if Dead Silence isn't going to be a thing, at least you're not, stomping around the map like an elephant, and you have to wait for your Dead Silence to come up before you can actually make any plays on the map. That was really the big frustration, that look, at least if Dead Silence wasn't, let's say the field upgrades, they could have changed it, let's say in Modern Warfare, so that instead of it just having to charge up all the time, you just got it every single round. That would actually have been a kind of a nice thing to me, I think, to at least give it a go. You get Dead Silence, but you don't get it just charge up over time. You just get one use of Dead Silence every single round, and then you don't have to wait for it, and there's no this stupid waiting game, and no one can really predict when the other team's going to make a play, because it just depends on how long their Dead Silence is going to take to charge up and all this type of stuff. And of course, it charges up quicker if you get a kill, but maybe you just, if it is going to be a field upgrade, just give every single player their field upgrade every single life, and they can use it whenever they want in the round, and then once you've used Dead Silence for the round, then that's kind of done for the next round. So you can make a play if you want right at the start of the round. I don't know, maybe that would be a nice compromise that I thought of. I think there was some discussion about that back in Modern Warfare. Could be the same case here. At the end of the day though, if Dead Silence, if the footsteps are already relatively silent, then hopefully this won't be a big deal, but Scump understandably is somewhat concerned about the situation, because look, at the end of the day, Dead Silent footsteps make way more sense, because it's just really frustrating when you get spotted just by sound cues when you're trying to make a play through the map. It gives a disadvantage to the player trying to actually make a play. If you just sit in a room and sit there and just turn your headset up, then you're making the best play you can in the game, because you can just hear anyone sneaking up on you at all times. Even if you crouch in Modern Warfare, is ridiculous. Even if you crouch walked around the map, you still made way more noise than you should have realistically. You can still be heard. I don't understand that. If you're running, I get it, you should make some noise, but I think it should be default in Call of Duty that at least, especially if you're crouch walking, but probably just if you're walking and holding down your trigger, then you should be pretty much dead silent anyway, without even the need for a perk. I know they do it just so the campers in the rooms who are new to Call of Duty, they can get the sound cue on someone coming up behind them so they don't get frustrated getting shot in the back or whatever. I kind of understand how it caters to new players in that sense, but from the competitive side, it's very frustrating, and that's probably some of the reasons why Scump is hearing this news and thinking, I'm not sure if we want to do this once again. Ghost of Hope also does continue with this, though I thought was pretty interesting. All maps in the beta are 3-lane from what I was told. So this is kind of the classic Call of Duty map construction, which 3-lane maps, you've got a left lane, a middle lane, and a right hand lane. That's generally what Sledgehammer did way back in, I guess, Advanced Warfare, but also in World War II, to pretty good effect. If we've got 16 6v6 maps, all with pretty much 3 lanes, or at least the majority of them are based on what we're seeing for the beta, we could be in for a great year, even if the gameplay itself and the engine and Dead Silence and stuff isn't exactly where it could be perfectly, but still exciting to look at. Destruction can create mini lanes in some areas of the maps as well, so destructible environments, this is the type of stuff that may cause some risk, but we'll have to see, I suppose. This I thought was pretty interesting as well. Another field upgrade is called Goliath, apparently looking something like this, and this guy comes and finds that it actually, these are the types of things in terms of how big they are in real life, which may may be some sort of RCXD type thing. That is at least what people are discussing, which would be really strange for that to be a field upgrade, but I guess we'll just have to wait and see on that front. Also, on the more risky side, maybe for Call of Duty Vanguard, there was this that came out from the Toronto Ultra a couple of days ago, and as you can see on screen right here, as he just said, that well, there are rumours that they are going back to domination for next year. Not sure if that's actually going to be the case or not. Well, I don't know where he's making that up. Per source, we're going back to playing domination next year, which, I mean, really, I hope that is not the case. I'd be very surprised if, well, if Sledgehammer kind of sign off on that and they decide that domination is going to be the third game mode for competitive play, and I'm sure the pros wouldn't want that to be the case either. Like, I'm pretty sure the pros would love to have either, I guess, control back or whatever other game mode Sledgehammer wants to come up with, or potentially just bring back capture the flag, right? I think that'd be a lot of people's in best interest, because at the end of the day, I think I talked about it a couple of weeks ago now, that look, if you've got 16 6v6 maps, you'll be able to find 3 of them that will work okay for CTF, and that's pretty much all you need for the third game mode. So, you know, if we're playing domination, I'm going to be incredibly frustrated. I hope that's not the case. I don't believe that'll be the case, but certainly this video from the Toronto Ultra guys implied that there may be some rumours coming out that could be the case right now. And just to finish off with this, right, because nobody really knows what's going on with the Chicago spot right now. If OpTic Dallas does become a thing, and OpTic Gaming kind of leaves Chicago, that means NRG are still in control of that Chicago spot. Will they sell it on elsewhere, or will they just have to use that spot and potentially rebrand it back as the Huntsman, right? It's pretty unlikely, but you never know that they could come back in as the Chicago Huntsman, and Hex and Co, of course, have gone to OpTic Dallas, and that could be something possible, but, you know, as Nate's saying right here, like, I'm pretty sure, like, he's saying it deliberately, because he, of course, leaked the Huntsman a couple of years ago, when that was initially going to be a thing, and I'm pretty sure he's saying it deliberately right here, just to kind of, well, just to make Heavy Skills do a tweet about it, but still, maybe it could happen. Very much intrigued to hear your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, I'd greatly appreciate a like on the video. Really helps out the YouTube algorithm. If you enjoyed this content, I know people like you may enjoy this content as well, and I've grown the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you much as always, take care, and I will see you next time.
Bro, where's Crimsix going? I know. You guys don't. I know what team he's on. Is it LA Thieves? Is it the Florida Mutineers? Is it the Huntsman? Who knows? Guys, the Huntsman part was not a leak. That was a joke. Like, okay, so if the Huntsman actually come back, it's not my fault. I don't know if they're coming back. I don't know that aspect of it. Deadass. I'm not that stupid. I wouldn't leak Huntsman twice. Come on now.
The what?